Zarlak's commander muttered under his breath, his tendrils quivering in disbelief. How can any species be so precise? On the desolate planet of Xiron 7, under the eerie glow of its twin moons, the Galactic Coalition's War Council gathered, their mood grim. The war had been in their favor until the humans entered the fray. Now, a new terror haunted their ranks, the human sniper. Perhaps we underestimated them, General Tharok, a massive creature with plated scales, rumbled. His voice was like distant thunder, carrying the weight of every defeat his forces had suffered at the hands of these mysterious sharpshooters. Underestimated, Commander Vrat's voice hissed through gritted teeth, his slit pupil eyes narrowing. We didn't understand them at all. What kind of soldier kills from such a distance? It's dishonorable. It's not just the distance, chimed in another alien, smaller, but with eyes flickering like dying embers. It's the way they kill, without warning, without us even seeing them. By the time we know where they are, it's already too late. A murmur of agreement swept through the room. Every species in the coalition had faced the same problem. None had seen a human sniper and lived to tell the tale. Their only knowledge came from the aftermath. Comrades dropped in their tracks, casualties counted in mere seconds. We must act, General Tharok growled, slamming his fist onto the metallic war table, causing the holographic battlefield to flicker. We can't continue to fight an enemy we can't see. Perhaps, came a cold, mechanical voice from the corner, cutting through the tension. The council turned to the AI unit floating beside them, its angular body gleaming in the dim light. Perhaps it is not the humans we should fear, but their methods. The room fell silent. The AI had been an observer for most of the war, its input often viewed as detached, too clinical. But in this moment, facing an enemy they didn't understand, its insight was suddenly valued. They have adapted to a form of combat that prioritizes efficiency over engagement, the AI continued. For humans, victory is not about the battle itself. It is about eliminating the target. They are hunters, predators, who take pride in ending life with minimal effort. The word predator lingered in the air, its weight undeniable. Across countless worlds, predators were the most feared creatures, beings that could kill without hesitation or remorse. For the first time, the coalition realized they weren't facing a traditional army. They were the prey, being stalked by killers who thrived in the shadows. Then how do we fight them? Commander Vrat's voice trembled, his usual confidence shaken. How do we stop them? We can't fight them the way we fight others, the AI replied. We must change our strategy, become unpredictable, lure them into environments where their precision is useless. Or... The AI paused, as if calculating a complex algorithm. We could set traps, make them think they have the advantage, then strike when they least expect it. The council buzzed with discussion, strategies flying back and forth. But as the debate wore on, one thing became increasingly clear. The humans had already won in one respect. They had instilled fear, a fear that now paralyzed the coalition's leadership. Far from the council, high on a ridge overlooking the battlefield, a lone figure lay prone. Camouflaged against the barren terrain, the human sniper watched through his rifle's scope as the enemy scrambled below. They were fortifying their defenses, but their movements were panicked, erratic. They knew he was out there, but had no idea where. His breathing was slow, controlled. His finger rested lightly on the trigger, not enough to fire, but just enough to feel the cool metal under his skin. His heart rate remained steady, his mind clear. Patience was his greatest weapon. He could wait for hours, days even, for the perfect shot. And when the time came, he would strike with precision, no more thought required than swatting a fly. He surveyed the battlefield, listening to the distant sounds of war. He was just one of many, scattered across the landscape like ghosts, each one a master of death. No one knew his name. No one ever would. Back at the War Council, desperation had set in. Coalition leaders clung to any strategy that might offer an advantage, but deep down, they all knew the truth. They were fighting an enemy they couldn't comprehend, an enemy that didn't follow their rules of engagement. And on the ridge, the sniper waited. His eyes never left the battlefield. He had all the time in the world, and when the moment came, he would strike again. Another alien soldier would fall, and they would all wonder, in their final moments, why they ever dared to face such a foe. "Another one bites the dust," he whispered, as his scope focused on a target. The alien soldier crumpled, lifeless, while the others around it scrambled in panic. He knew the impact this would have: more paranoia, more fear. The coalition was unraveling, their confidence shattered by each shot. He shifted position, crawling backward, slow and deliberate. A sniper never stayed in one spot for too long. It was the first rule of survival. As he moved, he reflected on the coalition's recent attempts to counter him. Traps, ambushes, clever tricks. But it didn't matter. He was always one step ahead. Then, from the corner of his eye, the sniper noticed something, a flash of movement, too quick to be from the usual coalition troops. He shifted his aim. There, among the rocks, he saw them. A group, moving with precision, using the terrain for cover. These weren't ordinary soldiers. They were hunters, sent to take him out. He had to admit, it was a bold move. The coalition had finally realized they couldn't win by conventional means, so they had sent their best. But this was war, and admiration had no place here. He had a job to do. The hunters moved closer, their formation tightening. They were good, well coordinated, well armored, but they were also walking into his trap. One shot, one kill.